Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Where today I'm going to attempt to predict the game week 3 fixtures of the 2019-2020 season. Excuse me, I've been very bunged up this week, so I'm going to try my best, try my very best to get this out to you. So let's have a quick look on how I did last week. Bit of a mixed week, if I'm being honest with you. Very mixed week. So I said Arsenal 3, Burnley 1. It was a 2-1 win for Arsenal. So got very close with that one. Aston Villa 2, Bournemouth 1. Other way around. Bournemouth 1, 2-1. So that was wrong. Brighton 1, West Ham 0. I went for a 1-0 win to Brighton. It was a 1-1 draw. Wrong. Everton 2, Watford 0 was a 1-0 win for Everton. So got that kind of right. Norwich 2, Newcastle 1. 3-1 Norwich. So it was very close to that one. Southampton to Liverpool 3 was a 2-1 win for Liverpool, but would have been more comfortable if Mr. Adrian hadn't screwed up for that one. Man City 2, Tottenham 1. It was a 2-2 draw. So had it been 3-2, I would have got another outcome. And then the last three I got completely wrong. Sheffield United 1, Crystal Palace 1. It was a 1-0 win to Sheffield United. Chelsea 1, Leicester 2. It was a 1-1 draw. And I went for the 2-1 win to Manchester United, and it was a 1-1 draw between Wolves and Manchester United. So the game week 3 fixtures are as follows, and we have Aston Villa against Everton, Norwich City against Chelsea, Brighton against Southampton, Manchester United against Crystal Palace, Sheffield United against Leicester City, Watford against West Ham, Liverpool against Arsenal, Bournemouth against Manchester City, Tottenham against Newcastle, and Wolves against Burnley. Now, before I start the predictions video, I want to just say that the recent racial abuse aimed at Paul Pogba and Tammy Abraham is just out of order. I'm sorry, but no footballer should deserve that. Now, in my opinion, I know that I actually know that for a fact that obviously Abraham missed a penalty, Paul Pogba missed a penalty. They then do not deserve to go on to social media and be racially abused like that. It's happening far too often. But you know, we can all be upset. We can all be upset. We can all be very disappointed that obviously our team not winning, etc. But the one thing you do not do is cross the line when it comes to racial abuse. Now, you cross the line at that point. So I just wanted to put that out there, and thoughts are with Paul Pogba and Tammy Abraham. No one deserves this racial abuse. And also Chris Smalling and I believe Ashley Young were subject to it last season. So it's just happening far too much at the moment, and you know, Twitter really needs to do something. The football authorities need to really do something and just get these sort of keyboard warriors out of the way. It's just not on for me. So just wanted to start with that. I totally condemn the racial abuse. I know Gini Van Alden missed a penalty against Manchester City in the Community Shield. You know, I saw few Liverpool fans doing that, and it's just not on. It is just not on. And they were asking them to be sold as well. So, you know, everyone has an opinion, but don't bring anyone's colour or, you know, family, anything like that. Racial abuse is just not on. So that's just what I want to say. So I'll get that out of the way. And also, it's just not on. So I just wanted to say that just very quickly. Now, Aston Villa against Everton. Oh, before I say actually, Mr. E, his description will be in the comment section below. Sorry, in the description below. He is 2-0 up on me. He got 6 outcomes, and he got 5 outcomes, and I got 4. So it's 2-0. So I'm prepared to win this week. We're prepared to win. So we'll see what happens. Aston Villa against Everton now. These two have met a lot of times, 48 times in fact. Aston Villa edge it ever so slightly with 20 wins to Everton's 18. And there's been 10 draws in that time as well. The last meeting was a 2-1 win to Everton way back in 2015-2016. But this is obviously the season when Aston Villa went down. So, how do I look back on those two games last week? Aston Villa, well, the one thing you don't concede is concede 2 goals in 10 minutes. That's one thing you do not know. You do not do. Jack Grealish has obviously got that unwanted record, 20 Premier League games in a row, and he's lost every single one of them. So he'll want to get that hoodoo off his back. But they got back into it the second half. I think it will take time for Villa, but it's going to take them time to get that team gelling. I think, but I think Villa were very, very unlucky to lose to Bournemouth last week. That second half performance was much, much better from Villa. But yeah, the first half was not great, so they'll want to improve along this one. Everton, they won 1-0 against Watford, but they'll be wondering how it wasn't by much more. Although Watford did have their chances. Craig Dawson hit the post. Delafeu had a couple of chances as well. Moise Keane, I'm sure he'll come up to scratch as soon as possible, but yeah, he was a bit wasteful as well. So it could have been more comfortable victory for Everton. But having said that, looking at this game, Villa will want Everton is one of those games where these two have been a mainstay, obviously until 2015-2016 when Aston Villa went down, but ever since before that, Aston Villa and Everton were a mainstay in the Premier League. So these two, this is one of the most played fixtures in Premier League history. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this game on Friday. It should be a very, very close game. So I'm going to go for an Aston Villa win, believe it or not. I actually think Villa can actually do it. I was very impressed with them second half last week. I think that if they can build that second half, then they could scrape a win here. Everton, my main worry with them is who's going to score the goals. I know Bernard scored last week, but Calvert-Lewin, I'm sure he'll score. I'm sure Sigurdsson will score. But it's having that striker that scores to put the ball in the back of the net. That is definitely what they're needing now. And I think this sways me towards a Villa win because I feel that they've got that attacking presence and they've got a very good midfield as well. Obviously, John McGinn, Jack Grealish, Conor Hourihane, he was dropped last week. Douglas Luiz, who scored last week, absolute wonder goal that was as well. So they've got a very good team, Aston Villa, and it just sways me towards Villa this one. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to Aston Villa. Norwich City against Chelsea. Now, the last time these two met, it was a 2-1 win to Chelsea. This was way, way back in 2015. It was that Norwich last played Chelsea. Norwich City, fantastic home win on the return to the Premier League. Absolutely fantastic win against Newcastle. They absolutely dominated. Newcastle were definitely hiding there. It could have been much, much more though. Timu Pukki, everyone doubted whether he could score goals in the Premier League. That's now 4 in 2 games. So he's right up there for the top scorer so far this season. But he was tremendous against Newcastle, and I know Norwich might feel a little bit annoyed that they conceded at the very last minute, but going forward in that game, they were absolutely superb. Aarons in particular, he was bombing down that right, and Timu Pukki, if he keeps scoring the goals, then Norwich will be okay. I think. I think also that they've got a decent side as well. And you look at the players that come off the bench. Obviously, Stiepermann. You've got Vrancic, who was very, very good last season, and they've got Patrick Roberts as well. Norwich City have got a very, very good team, and if they can make Carroll Road a fortress, they may well stay up. And I expect them to stay up this season. I really, really do. Chelsea. has to be said that they were very good in the first half. How they didn't score 2 or 3 goals was incredible. They should have been 2 or 3 up at half time against Leicester. But this is the thing. Who's going to score the goals for Chelsea? Because Giroud is not prolific enough. I don't know if Batshuayi is going to come back in. I don't know about that. So, it's going to be very, very interesting to see who's going to score the goal for Chelsea. Now, if you want form wise for Norwich City against Chelsea, Norwich City's last win against Chelsea came way back in December 1994 when they beat Chelsea by 3-0. Now, this was obviously when Norwich were at the top of the Premier League. So, this was a long, long time ago. I'm going to go for a Chelsea win. Now, the reason I say that, Frank Lampard does need a win. He definitely needs a win. Chelsea's defence recently has not looked good, so I expect Norwich City to score. I would not be surprised if Timo Pukki continues his goal scoring form to make it 5-3. Excuse me, and I think Chelsea will definitely. It'll be very interesting to see who plays up front. Does Abraham come back in? Does Giroud stay in the pitch? Does Batshuayi come in? Who knows? But this is my main worry for Chelsea. Who is going to score the goals? Because when Willian came on last week, he was dire. Really, really poor. So, having come into this, I'm going to go for a Chelsea win, and I'm going to go for a narrow 2-1 win to the Blues. 2-1 to Chelsea. Brighton against Southampton. Now, the last time these two met at the Amex, Southampton were a 1-0 win over Brighton. But things have differed now. Brighton have never beaten Southampton, but then again they've only met 4 times. There's been 3 draws and there's been 1 Southampton win. So hello.
What are you doing?
Recording a video.
Sorry, I think we get
So, as I was saying, obviously I did that one. Yes, Brighton have. There's been 4 games between Brighton and Southampton. There's been 3 draws and there's been 1 win to Southampton. Brighton, very unlucky not to be West Ham last week. Very, very unlucky not to be West Ham. I think that also you have to say that Graham Potter is doing very, very well at Brighton. It'd be very, very interesting to see how they do in this one. They've got Trossard. He looked very, very dangerous as well. Brighton could have beaten West Ham actually. And obviously West Ham were up against their bogey side, so that says it itself. Southampton will be wondering how they didn't get anything off Liverpool last week. Liverpool let them back into the game. Obviously, Danny Ings scores against his former club, and then obviously has a chance to make it 2-2. So, Southampton will be. It's a worrying start for Southampton, but we're only 2 games in, but they don't look as solid as they were last season. That is to be said. Now, as far as this game goes, Brighton have never beaten Southampton, and Southampton are a little bit not on very, very good form. Obviously, lost 3-0 last time on their travels to Burnley. I'm going to say that Brighton are going to get a point. I'm not going to say they're going to win because they've never beaten Southampton, but there's always a first for everything, isn't there? So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw between Brighton and Southampton. Manchester United against Crystal Palace. And the last time these two met, it was a 0-0 draw at Old Trafford, but this was obviously when United had no confidence, they just basically didn't have a very good time of it last season. So, but things have changed. Manchester United last time out 1-1 against Wolves. very, very good performance in the first half. Second half, Wolves definitely came back into it. And then obviously, Paul Pogba gets the penalty. And then there's obviously that debate over who takes it, Rashford, Pogba. Obviously, Rashford allowed Pogba to take it, so that in itself. But you could see how angry he was, Paul Pogba, when he missed it. Now, if that is not caring that that you want to be a Manchester United, then I don't know what is. So he will still be a Manchester United. I can guarantee that. Going forward, Martial is in the form of his life at the moment. Maybe it's that number 9 shirt. Seems to be playing very, very well. Fantastic finish into the roof of the net over Rui Patricio last week. Crystal Palace, really hard to say how they're going to do in this game because they've not been brilliant. I must admit, they have not been brilliant. And the actually thing is that it's very, very worrying that they seem to want to be. They want to obviously be better than they were last season. I thought they might have got something at Sheffield United because of their away form last season, but wasn't to be. And the fact is, Sheffield United did very, very well marshalling Wilfred Zaha. Now he's lost his mojo because obviously he wants to leave. So it's getting very, very interesting to see where he is going to go. He's obviously going to stay at Palace, but it'll be very interesting to see where he actually ends up. Obviously, Arsenal and Everton were wanting him in the summer, so will he move in January? Who knows? And there's still time for the European clubs to go in for him, so they've got another week of their transfer windows, so yeah, be very, very interested. As far as this game goes, Crystal Palace have never beaten Manchester United in the Premier League. Never beaten them at all. There's been a couple of draws in there, but it's at Old Trafford. I fully expect Manchester United to come out all guns blazing in this one. I think Manchester United will run out comfortable winners by 3-0. Man United 3, Crystal Palace 0. Sheffield United against Leicester City. Now, this is the first ever top flight meeting between these two, Sheffield United and Leicester City. Now, obviously, the last time these two met was in a League Cup game, and Leicester City ran out 4-1 winners. Now, this will be a lot closer than that one. Sheffield United, fantastic first win in the Premier League. Great win. They played very, very well. Didn't give Wilfred Zaha a sniff for Palace, and Dean Henderson has been absolutely superb since he went back to Sheffield United. So, they're going to be a very, very hard team to beat this season, Sheffield United. Chris Wilder is a fantastic manager. It was Lundstram that scored the goal. Big centre back. So if you've got him in your fantasy football team, then you'd be smiling. Goal and a clean sheet, so not too bad for them. Leicester City were very good in the second half at Chelsea, it has to be said. Wilfred Ndidi obviously atones for his error for the Chelsea goal. He allows Mason Mount to get in there, but he scored from a header. And then there was only one team looking like they could go on and win that game, and Leicester City were very, very good, I thought, going forward in that game. Another player who seems to have really surprised everyone since he's come into the team is Kagler Siyunku. Now, Anthony Boya, I really hope I have actually pronounced that right. If I haven't, then let me know. Let me know how you pronounce it. Siyunku, I think that's how you pronounce it. He's been absolutely terrific since he came in. He's obviously Harry Maguire's replacement at Leicester, and I think it is going to be a very, very close game, this one. I think that Sheffield United are very, very good at home. Leicester City, they're looking for that first win. Now, obviously, Leicester City beat them last time out. I think the firepower of Leicester City will be enough for the win here. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Sheffield United. I'm going for a 2-1 win to Leicester City because I just think that Leicester City's firepower will be a little bit too much for Sheffield United. But you know, Sheffield United, this is not going to be a game that guarantees their defines their season. It's going to be against those teams in the bottom half. So that is going to be what's going to be very, very interesting with that one. But I don't expect them to win this one. I don't expect them to get anything from this one. But who knows? That could be wrong. I was wrong about Sheffield United last time out. Could be wrong this time, but we'll see. So I'm going for a 2-1 win to Leicester City. Watford against West Ham. The last time these two met was the final day of last season, which was a 4-1. Excuse me, was a 4-1 win to West Ham on the final day of last season. Now Watford will be kicking themselves how they didn't get anything off Everton and Goodison. I know they hit the post a couple of times. Delafeu had a couple of chances as well, but it's going to be interesting. Obviously, they're back in front of their fans at Vicarage Road. I think they should be okay. I think Watford. I know they've started poorly, but it does take time for them to gel. Will Danny Welbeck make his debut? That's another thing that people will be wondering is, will he make his debut? Interesting to see. I wouldn't imagine so, but we can see what happens. That one, West Ham. I think they were lucky to get away with a point at Brighton. I know it's their bogey side. I know they've obviously Chiquinito scored last time out. So, but looking at this game, I think it's going to be a very tricky game. West Ham obviously won the last game 4-1. I think it'll be a lot closer this time. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to the Hammers. I just think that the Hammers will be ever so key to get that first win under their belt. They always seem to start slowly, actually, West Ham, but I think they will win this one. I'm going for a 2-1 win to West Ham. Liverpool against Arsenal now. Now, the last time these two met was at Anfield. It was back in the 28th of December or the 29th of December. I can't actually remember what day it was. And Liverpool ran out 5-1 winners, and this was one of those games where Arsenal went ahead and then Liverpool completely took over. So it's going to be another interesting one. Liverpool, very lucky. I'll be one of the first ones to admit we were very lucky to get that win at Southampton. Southampton played very, very well. The main worry for me is that Adrian has made his first mistake, so hopefully he doesn't make another mistake this time. Defensively have not been looking too solid either. And the worrying thing was, Andrew Robertson looked very tired in the game against Southampton. There were a couple of players that looked tired. Ox looked very, very good back in midfield as well. Mane, his first goal against his old club as well. Firmino as well. Salah's looking okay as well. So, looking ahead, Arsenal, I mean, as much plaudits as they got for winning the game against Burnley, they were pretty poor defensively. I see that Socrates has come out and said that Liverpool are easier to defend against than Burnley. Yeah. Just wait till Saturday. Socrates. Just wait till Saturday. Socrates. Sorry, Socrates. Or is it Socrates? I think it's Socrates. But having said that, Arsenal have never defended well when they go to Anfield. It's just something about them that they always seem to fold at Anfield, and in my opinion, I think it could happen again. Leno's getting a lot of criticism as well. He doesn't seem to be doing very, very well actually. Since 2013-2014, Liverpool have scored 22 goals and conceded 8 against Arsenal. Now, obviously, there have been a couple of draws in there. Obviously, I think there was a 3-3 one of them, maybe a 2-2 as well. But 2016-2017, 3-1. 2017-2018, 4-1. And then last season, 5-1. So, I'm going to go for a Liverpool win, obviously. And I'm going to go for a 3-1 win. I think we'll be far too strong for Arsenal. This is obviously first as against second in the Premier League at the moment. I don't expect those two to be there by the end of it, but yeah, I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Liverpool, and that one is on Sky Sports as well. I forgot to say that Norwich against Chelsea's on BT Sport, and also Aston Villa Everton is the Friday night football, so that will be on as well. Bournemouth against Manchester City. Now, the last time these two met, Manchester City came away with a 1-0 win over Bournemouth at the Vitality. Bournemouth have never beat Manchester City in the Premier League. Yeah. It's 9 games and 9 wins to Manchester City. They've not even drawn either. Bournemouth, very good away win against Villa last time out, and also the fact is that they did very, very well to beat Villa. Harry Wilson obviously he got his first goal for Bournemouth since going on loan from Liverpool. And you know, Callum Wilson, he obviously got the penalty. Josh King got his first goal of the season. So they've got a good team, Bournemouth. They got a really, really good team. That was their main worry last season, is that their away form diluted, kind of went away from them a little bit. But a very good win at Villa, and that kind of goes against the thing, because Villa against Bournemouth, usually the away team wins. So yeah, that has continued. Manchester City 2-2 against Tottenham. Thought defensively though they looked a bit shaky. I mean, Lamela scored his first goal. Look, the way he did it, it was quite weird, because the positioning of Ederson came into question. He was way too far over to his left. If he was in the middle, he would have saved that comfortably. So I don't know if he was onside or not. And then obviously Lucas Moura gets the goal from the corner. Again, it is a very good corner. And then obviously the controversy is the VAR. Now, this handball rule is absolutely ridiculous. So basically, if it hits anywhere part of your hand or your arm, it's handball. Really? I mean, he didn't know much about it. He did not know much about it. And then obviously, Jesus scores, and then, you know, VAR, you know, disallowed it. I'm pleased that that obviously Manchester City didn't win, but you have to feel for Laporte, because he couldn't do anything. Now, if this VAR rule is coming into question now, that if it hits anywhere part of your hand, then it is going to be a handball. Really? I just don't get that. I really, really don't get that. So you have to feel hard. I think City were hard done by against Tottenham, and I thought Tottenham were very lucky to get away with anything at the Etihad there. Bournemouth, Man City. I'm going to go for Manchester City, just quite comfortably. 3-0 to Manchester City for that one. Tottenham against Newcastle. Now, the last time these two met, Tottenham won 1-0. This would have been at Wembley as well. Obviously, this is at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. This is also live on Sky Sports at 4:30. Bournemouth, Manchester City, that's the Super Sunday as well. So Bournemouth, Man City and Tottenham, Newcastle are Super Sunday. Tottenham, as I've just said, they were very lucky to take anything away from the Etihad. They let Manchester City play right through them, and if you do that, then you will be punished. But it is a very good point. It is a very, very good point for Mauricio Pochettino and his side. They're coming up against the Newcastle side, who are absolutely dreadful at Norwich. And it kind of just says that this is going to be a very long season for Newcastle fans. It really is. I mean, one team is on form, Tottenham, against Newcastle, who are not in form. There's only one winner in this. Tottenham Hotspur 3, Newcastle 0. I'm going for a 3-0 win to Tottenham. And the final game of the game week 3 is Wolves against Burnley. Now, the last time these two met, Wolves won 1-0 against Burnley. And this game has been moved to the Sunday because Wolves are in Torino tomorrow night. So that'll be a very good, interesting game, that one. Obviously, good luck to them as well. Excuse me. Wolves very poor in the first half against Manchester United. Very, very poor, actually. United could have been 2 or 3 up by that point. But the second half, whatever Nuno Espirito Santo said to them, got them working, because Jimenez was superb. Dendoncker was really good. Ruben Neves, absolute wonder goal. Absolute wonder goal. And then obviously VAR tried to take that away from them as well. It's just absolutely ridiculous with what VAR is doing to teams now. Is that sometimes somebody was going to have a goal chopped off. It's just ridiculous. It really, really is. And then obviously there was only one team that looked like winning that game, and obviously they got the penalty. Patricio saved from Pogba was fantastic as well. So, I think, having said that, Wolves will be looking at that and say it's a very good point. They remain unbeaten in 14 there now at the Molineux. So a very, very good, point for them. Coming up against the Burnley side, who played very well at Arsenal. Ashley Barnes scored again, so he seems to be getting more goals lately as well. And to be fair, Burnley had their chances against Arsenal. They created a lot of chances at the Emirates, and had it been for that, it would have been very, very interesting to see what would have happened. Obviously, Burnley had never beaten Arsenal, so it would have been very, very interesting had they got the point as well. So they'll feel a little bit hard done by. But having said that, Burnley were fantastic at Arsenal, and I thought they were very unlucky not to get something. Now, as is Molineux, Burnley beat Wolves at Turf Moor. Wolves beat Burnley at Molineux. Because it's Molineux, I have to go for a Wolves win, and I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to Wolves for this one. I just think that Wolves will probably win this one, and it will be a very, very interesting game at the weekend. So that is my game week 3. So I'm just going to go through them very, very quickly, and then it's over to you, Mr. E. So I'm going to go for Aston Villa 1, Everton 0, Norwich City 1, Chelsea 2, Brighton 1, Southampton 1, Manchester United 3, Crystal Palace 0, Sheffield United 1, Leicester City 2, Watford 1, West Ham 2, Liverpool 3, Arsenal 1, Bournemouth 0, Manchester City 3, Tottenham 3, Newcastle 0, and Wolves 1, Burnley 0. So that is it. That is my game week 3 predictions. That and obviously, if you guys want to have your comment predictions in the comment section below, then please join in. I want to interact with more fans as possible, and I will be back hopefully with a better voice on Friday to do my SPFL predictions for the weekend's football. So thank you very much for watching this video, and yeah, smash a like, hit that subscribe button, and like and share whatever you want to do. And now it's over to you, Mr. E. Can you make it 3-0 this week? So we shall see what happens. But anyway, enjoy the football. Good luck to your teams. Hope they all win for you, and we shall see what happens this weekend. And I'll be watching Liverpool Arsenal for sure. If I'm feeling better, I might bring out a Liverpool Arsenal preview, but who knows? It just depends how my throat is as well. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll be back very, very soon. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.